see what we got. I guess we clocked in. Hey, what's going on, party people? Hopefully, you guys should be able to hear me. Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. It's definitely a great pleasure to have you here. I go by the name of Lespri. I am a spiritual healer. And essentially, what I do as a spiritual healer is that I help people to attain their highest level of consciousness. And what that means pretty much, it's it's you becoming Christ-like, or it's you becoming Buddha-like or Krishna-like. Just so you guys understand, like when you look at Jesus, you look at Buddha, right? Who became, well, he was actually Siddhartha, who became Buddha, and then Jesus, who became the Christ. You know, when you're looking at their stories, right? You could tell, you could see and understand, their starting point, their journey pretty much, and how they were able to ascend. And their ascension is what makes them become whoever the fuck they became. And that symbolizes pretty much, your level of achievement or your level of realization. And that's how Siddhartha became the Buddha and Jesus became the Christ. And Krishna and whoever else, whatever else, or Horus. I mean, it's all the same energy. And what that means pretty much, once you become or became that, it's attaining your highest level of consciousness. So I help you to attain your highest level of consciousness, i.e., so that you could be Christ-like, Buddha-like. That's what I do. Now, how do I do it? Well, I help you, let's just say, to have a better understanding of who you are by helping you to become mentally and emotionally balanced. Because only when those two are balanced, now that you have the mental clarity for you to actually make the best decision, or not even making any type of decisions, but to be on a level of being or attaining that highest level of consciousness. That's a mental clarity. That's the highest, I mean, for you to see the big picture, so to speak, you would have to be able to become mentally and emotionally balanced. And the reason being is, well, let's just say, when you go like such and such as being too emotional. So therefore, what you're also saying is because that person is not being emotionally balanced. So therefore, we all acknowledge, there's your clarity is at too. It's not up to par, and vice versa too. Now, if you too mental, you straight up logical, A plus B equal, what I'm saying? That's how you see things from a linear perspective, from a reasoning perspective only. I mean, you're not going to see the bigger picture neither. Because now you became very rigid, very robotic. You know what I'm saying? You stepping on other people's toes. I mean, you now, I mean, it's good. You may have logic, but you don't, you fail to see the smallest things around you. And that's what emotion does to you. Emotions, and that's why it's important for you to become mentally and emotionally balanced, because your emotions with your clarity allows you to have a better perspective. And that perspective, I mean, it's also now becomes a reflection of you. It's you knowing you and you attaining your highest level of consciousness. So that's why those two have to become in alignment. So pretty much it's the whole idea of mind, body, and soul. So now that you understand how I do it now, so let's talk a little bit about what do I mean by being emotionally balanced, right? So for most people, they think, being emotionally balanced is pretending certain things, right? You wouldn't raise your voice, or you would sound like you fucking unhappy, or or you, oh, are you? angry? Is that anger? Like people try to use that like shit. Yeah, I'll let you know when I'm angry, motherfucker. Again, there's no. I mean, it's just a matter of being triggered. I mean, a lot of people. I mean, if you're saying angered, right? We're talking about here. For the most part, when people are being triggered. You know what I'm saying? And there's a difference between becoming emotionally balanced and choosing to act a certain way. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you a perfect example, right? Like a boxer. I mean, they have to be emotionally in control, like even of the whole fight, not to be too excited and gas out. I mean that all of it. You know what I'm saying? It's a combination of everything. And that's what dancing is too. But anyway, I don't even know why I had to go there, but I mean, I guess I was thinking about the whole dance, and that's pretty much what we're doing by becoming in harmony with nature. And the thing about dancing that me personally that I really enjoy is that what I'm saying it's a two-way thing. Like it's you being in your not even necessarily a two-way thing, but it's just you being in what I'm saying, like when you're truly dancing, like doesn't matter if people are looking at you. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like it's you in your character. It's you enjoying all of it, experiencing. I mean, the experience is just insane. Do you see what I'm saying? But anyway, now let's go back to being emotionally balanced, right? So to be emotionally balanced, what I'm really talking about is for you to understand your own emotions. You to understand what if you feel in a certain way, you understand what that means, and you understand why you react or you may have been feeling a certain way. So it's to understand the energy and to understand what the energy is telling you, because there's always messages in energies, right? I mean, so much so if you were to touch, let's just say, something hot, you know what I'm saying, there's a message right there. You know what I'm saying? It's like nobody has to translate it for you. You automatically got the message. So that you have to be in that sort of connection with your emotions, so you understand the emotional messages. Then you have to understand your emotional pattern. Do you see what I'm saying? I mean, ultimately, you being in control of that is you taking over your pattern. It's you be creating your own emotional pattern. But for the sake of what we're talking about, for you to understand, what it's like to be emotionally balanced. I mean, shit. I mean, it's ultimately. I mean, it's you creating your own fucking emotional like pattern. And if there's any blockages, now you have the ability to actually either transmute, reject. You know what I'm saying? Without suppressing. Because what a lot of people do by pretending, they claim to be emotionally balanced, but that's not true. Do you see what I'm saying? All somebody got to do is to touch the right button. Whereas when you become emotionally balanced, you have no button. Now it's when you choose to do it. You're not being triggered. You're not just reacting. So yeah. So in addition to that, you also have to understand, or to become mentally balanced. And by being mentally balanced, what you're technically doing pretty much, it's understanding how your mind works. But also to understand how is your mind being influenced by external, like when you go to school, is there a certain way school is teaching you to think? How does going to school would impact you? You know what I'm saying? Or how would it? That's why it's part of the work is for you to understand your culture. These are all different things that pretty much shape how you think. So you have to be aware of these things, but most importantly, for also you understanding their effect on you. Because as part of you now to be in charge of your mental, you would have to be aware of all these things and being mentally balanced and increasing your self consciousness as well. I mean, this is all part of it. So that's what that is. It's understand your culture, understand your immediate, let's just say, circle. Is to be aware of what's around you. In fact, the more aware you are of what's around you, the more conscious you are becoming. Not just from an outside perspective, but mainly from an internal perspective. And as you do so, because if you don't do it from that perspective, you won't be able to see what's in front of you. You have the knowledge, I mean, God, I mean, but anyway, that's what I'm going to be talking. Well, not necessarily. Well, I'll be touching on that too. So, you know, um, but anyway, making a long story short, guys, as a spiritual healer, I help you to attain your highest level of consciousness. I do that pretty much by helping you to become mentally and emotionally balanced. And that's pretty much it. Now, it may sound simple, but there's a whole lot in here. There's a whole lot in here. Because ultimately, we're talking about you knowing who you are. So you can imagine the shadow work, the internal, and that's what you being whole is, being perfect, just like God is perfect. What that is referring to is being in harmony with yourself. That's where the higher self and the lower self come together. Your masculinity and your femininity comes together. It makes you holistic, not from, your perfection, and that's your aim. And the whole idea of you or us encouraging you to be as perfect as your father is. That's what that meant. As life in itself, it's in harmony. Good and bad, they all dance together. That's why polarity, when you understand the mental aspect of the universe, as the Kabbalion says, man, you are well on your way. You, I'm at you there. You ain't gotta move. You're there. I mean, you could just move slowly. Oh, well, we all gotta keep going forward. So I mean, I'm not gonna stop you, and everything vibrates any fucking way. So now it's how are you vibrating now? Because nothing rests. That's why you can either build or you are destroying. Are you getting smarter or are you getting dumber? Because it's not stopping. And the more you choose not to go forward, you're gonna go backward, baby. That's the way it goes. You ever seen older people that are like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? It takes a lot, like, for you to be like in your 60s and be dumb and be okay with it. Like, wow, that's a strength that I don't have. I don't have that in me. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's pretty much what I do. Now, if you coming back, you already know what's up, baby. You know what I'm saying? Everything I was doing was just for you, man. You already know. Get a plate, come get your medicine. You know exactly what we do here is nothing but love. Again, I mean, this is for you, man. It's for you. Now, welcome back. Now, guys, as you know, if this is your first time, maybe you do not know, but if you're coming back, you already know. You know what I'm saying? Part of my routine, especially if this is your first time, or even if this is your second time too, I always take a minute to break down or talk about spirituality because pretty much as a spiritual healer, spirituality is the foundation of everything that I talk to you about, right? So it's only right, for us to talk about what the fuck is spirituality. So, to be bluntly or simply put, spirituality is your life. It's you. You're looking at the story of the spirit, the story of humanity. And depending on what part of the earth that you came from, yeah, I mean, there's a story there for you. You know what I'm saying? Waiting for you. So we all have that story, and spirituality embodies it all. And ultimately, it gives you the ultimate understanding about who you are. It's documented. Now, a part of spirituality would be the occult, or what I call the esoteric knowledge. Now, dealing with esoteric knowledge, that's the type of knowledge now that helps you to understand more. I mean, help you to understand or to have a deeper understanding of who you are. The whole mystical aspect of it, I mean, again, it sounds good depending on what you like. Me, I mean, I fucking love it. And I love that mystery speech or, quotes or even approach, right? But anyway, it's simply a representation. It's just the knowledge or a manual that helps you to understand you. A perfect example of that would be, depending on where you are, if you were to pick up, I mean, some of the basic things that some of the occult book or mystic books would teach you is to help you to understand that you are, I mean, you have a conscious mind and you also have a subconscious mind. Now, the subconscious mind, obviously, it's under the conscious mind and you don't see it, you're not aware of it. But by them telling you about it, that's what they trying to tell you by you have to go in the dark, you know what I'm saying, to get the light. Out of the darkness comes the light. So they're helping you to become conscious now of what the part of you that you're not aware of. Because the whole idea of the occult is just like, okay, the Indian called this world Maya. And Maya means it's an illusion. Illusion. So meaning, and just so you guys know, when you look at this reality, the world that you're living in, it's a fucking illusion. Meaning, it doesn't mean it's fake. No, what you see is what you see. But the way it's happening in front of you, that's not the way it is. There is more to what you see. Like when you look at myself, you're looking at you, and you're looking at other people. We're talking about life in general. It's more than what it appears to be. The lessons that we're getting out of life alone should be showing you. It's not just walking around smelling the fucking roses or eating shit. There's life lessons. There's different things. There's yourself in it. So that alone is just showing you. And then as you're learning about life, and then now you get to know about you, then you realize you are the mystery of all mysteries. The way we operate as you learn about you is just fucking crazy. It's like, I mean, my best way to describe it, it's like you a living thinking machine. Or as the Kabbalion says, and I kind of like that, well, I love it too. It says you are a living mind. You want to change your life? Well, change your thinking. Not just a thought and idea, but your pattern, the way of you looking at things. There's a guy called Robert Kiyosaki. He had a book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's showing you two different mentalities. And that goes for all of us. That's why your life is based on your thinking. You can only go as far as your mind. And if you understand that, that alone should show you, I mean, that you know, like besides dick and pussy, you definitely gotta feed your mind. Or even for you to be, to thrive as a human being, to be the best human being or a better version of a human being, you need both. That's why, isn't that the reason why all of us go to school? We're saying we got to teach, or educate others. because we understand, outside of feeding your ass, understanding and logic, it's something that you also need. See, again, I want you to start looking at it from this perspective too. So that way you understand the Bible is there to serve you, not the other way around. That's what Jesus was talking about when he said, I can't recall exactly, but men, you technically you also live, for God's words or God's wisdom or God's understanding for your development to be a better version of you. I mean, you may not be an actual reader, but you gotta be informed. And by the way, as we're talking about this is also good because we're gonna be talking about discerning your spiritual speakers. I mean, your spiritual teachers. Because already I'm showing you too how any type of teacher is a big responsibility too. Like you holding weight. And that's why for me this is a privilege. This is a reward. This is everything. I mean, shit, nigga. Like this is me sucking my own dick. And yes, Diddy on this one. This is me sucking my whole dick. And we Diddy all the way on that one. But anyway, without going too far into it, going back to spirituality again, even by us talking about you getting to know somebody. Yes, you may see what I look like, but to know who I am, or for me to know who you are, that's how we recognize people, though, right? So we understand there's more to people than what they are. That's how we could tell such and such had pain, they were raised a certain way, that affected them, bam. So again, shit, I mean, it's not, I mean, there's a psychological aspect of us that cannot be ignored. And that's what they call the living mind. That's what the Kabbalion was saying. And in so many words, what that means pretty much, spirit. So spirituality is your story. It's your story. But a lot of us cannot relate to it out of ignorance. Because a lot of us too, like especially depending on how your mind was being conditioned to think, especially when we're living in a society that teaches you, you should live your life based on who you should be. There's an image. There's a, like there's an idol you should look like. And that's what you see in society. Whereas instead, they're not really teaching you how to live your life based on who you are. And that right there is actually a very good example and foundation for you guys to keep in mind, because I'm going to be talking about it pretty much comes down to two different type of teachers, especially when it comes to spiritual teaching. It's two different approach. But anyway, let me just slow down for a second. I figured since, that was right there, I might as well use it. But again, it is your story. So when you're learning, let's just say, through the occult, that you have a third eye, oh my God, you have chakras, auras, and all this shit, meditation, a law of manifestation, all of that's showing you is those things that are you, but it's a deeper you. It's not you from a physical perspective. So again, when you really get down to it, we are spirit, or call it energy, call it whatever you like. And now you have the occult now that is giving you the manual, the understanding of that by helping you to become conscious or by taking you into the darkness for you to see the light. A strong mind, a strong body. If you can see it, you can achieve it. Those are your nature. So again, there is a lot more to us than what it, we appear to be. And if you understand that, I mean that pretty much summarizes why this is a fucking illusion. And I mean shit, if you understand the mental aspect of that, well, I guess congratulations. Because I'm only showing it to you. And this is what we're gonna be talking about too, when we're gonna be talking about those different type of teachers. So, let me summarize real quick. Spirituality is your fucking life. You sucking your ass, whatever the fuck you're doing. You voting, not voting, whatever the fuck you choose to do. That's your that's your that's your birthright. Now you become spiritual by activating, meaning you start to acknowledge these things in you. Oh shit, I'm not just dick and pussy, man. Like you want to have a better life, well, you need to have God in it. You need to think a little bit bigger. You don't want to be too narrow because, hey, then, it makes it hard for you to get along with other people. So you got to expand your world, your consciousness, all of that shit. So again, as now you becoming spiritual, now you start to adopt new habits. Then you understand you have a third eye, meditation. Then you start to do them. Getting your chakras in alignment, you start doing that too. Because now you realize there's more to you than just what you appear to be. And then you start to see the actual difference. But also you have to learn how to become the information. And as you keep on going, you become Christ-like. That's your job. You got nothing else to do, bro. But just that. So now doing that doesn't mean, that's the biggest accomplishment ever. Because anything that doesn't like get you in that level, I mean, it's like it's if you're ignorant, like, does having money matter? To what level? You see what I'm saying? I guess that depends to who you talking about. I'm saying, but excuse me. So that's pretty much what spirituality is, man. It's your regular life. So when you understand that, so again, a lot of people, are ignorant or they can't see that in them because they've been conditioned to look at themselves only from a physical perspective. You see what I'm saying? And, with that, there's an image that we have to maintain. The whole validation thing, people pleasing thing. And, that's the world that you're living in. That's what I call the matrix. That's the world that we created. So now this is what your interpretation of life is. Whereas I'm trying to get you to tap outside of that. You know what I'm saying? Get out of that misery ways of looking at shit. It's painful. You see what I'm saying? It's competitive. It's jealousy. It's greed. It's never really being happy. It's 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 everything that you're already doing or that you're looking at. It's lies, deceptions. Now your self-image. That's what replaced your self-esteem. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's what we call too. You worshiping idols now. You know what I'm saying? Now it's your Gucci that represents you. It's crazy. hmm But anyway, so that's spirituality for you. Now, how do you discern your spiritual teachers? Right? So to me, ultimately, it comes down to two type of teachers. I mean, we may say things differently, we may have different approach, but ultimately, in regards of the content, it's two type of spiritual teachers. It's I haven't seen any other so far, but let me tell you what they are. Right. So you have the ones that are, you have the type of spirituality that's teaching you about, or the type of teachers that's teaching you about, this, their spirituality is how to behave. It's behavior based. And as it is behavior based, while there's always a reward when you act a certain way, and that's what their whole thing is all about. That's what your pastors are. That's your priests, pastors, any type of what you would call your modern day religion. So what they teach you, it's how to behave. You shouldn't be doing certain things. If you're a Christian, this is how you gotta act. This is what you do. You shouldn't be partying. You shouldn't be smoking. You shouldn't be drinking. That's what this is all about. And of course, there's a reward for it at the end. If you do all of these things, you keep the word of God. That's what keeping their meaning of the word of God. You keeping those commandments. And in just a second, I'll give you the whole meaning of it in a whole different level, right? Because when I'll teach you how to become those commandments, and that's the difference, pretty much, right? So you have one type of teacher that teaches you how to behave, and the other type of teachers now that tells you how for you to be. And most esoteric teaching is about you, your transformation, not how to act, what to do or what not to do, and not to say there's nothing wrong with that neither. Because if you're telling people not to kill, what I'm saying, not to do certain things, I mean, why would I be against that? But the problem is with this, in terms of in the long run, it doesn't really help. Whereas the teacher now who was teaching you how for you to be, now when you adapt the spirit in you, then you automatically, what they're saying about the fruit of the Spirit, now your life become that. Whereas you become peaceful, joyful, all of that good shit. That's the purpose of this. Do you see what I'm saying? So when you looking at the first type of teacher that I just mentioned, right? That's what you see the foundation of what you call church is. It became, let's just be honest, it's a social thing. Now you being validated for being a better person only because you're just a person that goes to church. You guys gotta understand what's going on here. And that's why on the low, 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 there's a whole bunch of fucking sucking dicks going on because they're pretending. So when they teaching you how to behave, so therefore there has to be a suppression aspect of it. So you gotta suppress, you gotta become more disciplined. All of that shit has listen, I mean, that's the foundation of what they're teaching you. And as you can see, I mean, I'm not sure if you're able to see, but if you got the site, the results are right in front of you. You have social clubs. You have things that people do on Sundays. Such and such is gonna be there, and they're gonna be talking about the type of clothes that they did. And after church, you know what I'm saying, we were gonna eat. You're gonna go to brunch. It became a social thing. And meanwhile, you'd be like, "Yo, man, you remember what the pastor talked about today? You know what I'm saying? $10 bottomless mimosas, nigga." That's what the pastor talked about. But anyway, or if that's not what you do, you go sit and have a good time with your family. Listen, I don't want you guys to have, that's what it is. And of course, again, how can I be against that? And that's what Jesus also meant when he was talking about the whole aspect of, nah, man, I got nothing against it. In fact, shit, you know what I'm saying? I'm all about it. Not the way you go about it. In fact, instead of pretending to be that, I can help you to be that. So I'm even more involved than you. So how can I be against if you're telling somebody not to steal, not to kill? Keep talking about it. Do you know what I'm saying? But again, in the long run, I mean, it doesn't hurt. It's not hurting anybody. But is it truly helping? Anyway, I'll let you be the judge. But what I truly wanted to see, or trying to help you, is to have that discernment and understand the content of the message. Because that reveals the type of teacher, and that's what I was saying. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to. Anybody with an African state of mind, let's just say, type of spirituality, you'll see the Buddhist is very similar. The Hinduism, Kabbalah, every school pretty much, mystery schools, they're thinking it's mainly goes, about you. So that's why I just put them all together. So ultimately, it's just those two. And then just so you know too, ironically, Jesus and Buddha was that type of teacher. Because Jesus used to tell you the things that I do, you can do it too. He wasn't just teaching you how to behave. He was giving you the kingdom of God, the science, the understanding, the eye opening, giving you sight. His teaching will transform you. when you listen, when Jesus spoke, the intelligence alone in his fucking statement, it's in, I mean, I don't know about you. I mean, I know he gave me that sight. What the fuck do you think I'm doing here? What the fuck do you think I'm doing? Well, fuck. Well, that's on you if you ain't catching up, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I give you fucking filet mignon, nigga. This is lobsters. This is top shelf information. But if you know, you know. It's all good, baby. This is for the great listeners. Got me on my bullshit. Creme de la creme. You know what I'm saying? Shit, it's an honor, motherfucker. Anyway, going back to Jesus, but that's not what you see your pastors are doing. And that's what makes it funny to me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You already know what's going on when you go. Like, I mean, shit. It's almost like you already know what the motherfucker's talking about too. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like the way you got in, it's the same way you are walking out. No transformation. And that type of information, they'll talk about TD Jakes. You don't do this, you do that. Then they start telling you a little bit about life now with Christ. You gotta believe and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's mainly how to behave, how to act. And obviously, you know what I'm saying? As them being part of a government entity, that's why they don't pay taxes neither. Do you see what I'm saying? So you have, and that's how it's important. Again, the mind. Mythology, I always tell you guys, is the greatest form of mind control. That's why your colonizers, they used it so much so these niggas don't even do, now they have their soldiers now. These niggas just became the Pope. You know what I'm saying? Come on now, man. Yeah, listen, man. I'm just trying to tell you. I'm telling you what I see. You know what I'm saying? And if you understand now, you could see the connection between that and the government, which kind of makes sense. And just so you guys know too, man, because I don't want this to be taken out of context, right? This is for educational purposes, guys. All right? It's not for you to be like, fuck the government and none of that shit. I mean, it's not even a fucking disclaimer. It's just the reality. Like, because if you understand you, then you that's why Jesus even was, I mean, if you understand yourself, then you play the Jesus position. Which is when it comes to whatever the fuck, give Caesar what belongs to Caesar and to God what belongs to God. Know what kingdom you're fighting for. That's what I'm saying. So that's why for me, it's not even as a fucking disclaimer or I'm trying to protect my ass or anything. I mean, I really don't, like, I'm not involved in that shit. And that's truly what I'm trying to say. Like, so that it doesn't take out of context when I mention certain things. Do you see what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't give a fuck. And you shouldn't give a fuck neither. But you should give a fuck enough to understand for your perspective. For your independence, for you to become the Christ. That's why Jesus was not concerned with none of that shit neither. But he understood it. There's a difference. You have to understand it. It's your business. I mean, how else would you be the Christ if you didn't have I mean, to be the Christ is to be the bright one, the shiny one, the Illuminati. You're supposed to be smart. That's why you don't want to sound smart. There's a difference. Big difference. Come on now. Come on now. So, so yeah. So again, do you see what I'm saying? Like, because it has power over your mind. But it's part of how you function anyway. When you understand your nature, you understand you need to have God in your life. Or a superhero or some shit. You got to have something you look up to. And when you understand that, and whatever you choose to look up to, you choose to follow, you go into create that behavior into your life. You see, when a Christian comes up to you and be like, "Yo, this is what the Bible says," the Bible even tell them this is the book. Everything that's in the book, that's what they got to go by. So therefore, when this motherfucker pull out the book, so much so it got to a point where you could tell somebody this is your Bible. You understand? I know. This that's your core. That piece of book, that book, it's your core. And meanwhile, I mean, meanwhile none of them are living off of the real core of what the Bible is supposed to be. You can't fake the funk. It's either you Jesus or you not. You can't fake it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I mean, you can pretend, of course. But the real shit, when you see it, you see it. You know it. You see what I'm saying? So again, so the first type of teaching, right, or those teachers, they're not fully there themselves. They teaching you these things, and again, they're not fully there neither. Otherwise, that's why they doing that. You know, they're not really they're not even Christ like themselves. I mean, I'm pretty sure you heard of, the shit that pastors are doing, right? And again, I'm not trying to make this a behavior shit. I mean, obviously, they're teaching you how to behave and they're not behaving as they're teaching you how to behave. Well, that's because also, again, I don't want to jump. Okay, okay. Let's just slow it down. Let's take it down a notch, right? A lot of these teachers, they're not there themselves. Meaning they have not they don't know what it's like to have the Christ consciousness. And the reason being is, I mean, again, because of what they're teaching you. Now, the teacher now, who's totally different, who has done the work, has become Christ-like. His teaching now is going to be about you, not how you behave, and not that there's anything wrong with how you should behave. But the difference in those two is, and that's why I wanted you to make that type of connection. I didn't want to make it a behavior shit. But what we understand is, as you became the information, when you have self-love, you have integrity, you become honest. When you develop those, let's just say, divine qualities in you, automatically you would know not to kill. Automatically you would know not to do certain things. That's why the true person who's transforming or who's living the life, you don't pretend. But also, you too busy being you. That's why a lot of us I could tell you it's not about behavior, but again, I was because I'm trying to get you to understand the measure that I was using to truly criticize. Let's just say the pastor, because I just didn't want it to sound like me contradicting myself. I wanted you to understand the difference in the levels of what I was saying. First of all, okay, let me say it this way. The motherfucker who's teaching you how to behave, they can't they don't they don't stand up to what they're saying. Whereas the teacher now who's teaching you how to be, they are a reflection of what they're teaching. The Dalai Lama, any type of motherfuckers like that. There's a certain behavior, there's a certain way, like that person has. He is that. Not telling you what to do to be, or this is what, it's not teaching you some fucking, I'm saying fucking I'm on some bullshit too tonight. Wait. It's not teaching you how to act or how to behave for you to have a reward, or somehow this is what's gonna get you to heaven. But they can't give you what they don't have neither. So that's why for me, these teachers, I call them the false teachers, the fake teachers. Because the information that they're giving you, it's not really transforming you. I mean, you could talk about ethics, morals, all the fuck you want. But there's a certain type of fucking individual that you need to be. Let's just say to be an ethical motherfucker. In so many words, you have to become that. Do you guys understand? Like, fuck, man. Yo, I'm doing my best, man. Is that clear enough? Because this shit is like right in front. Like, that's why when you know the truth, man, you can't go back. How do I go back to dumb shit? Do you see what I'm saying? The shit is in front of you. And how do you expect these guys to truly have some? I'm saying because they can't live. I mean, it's impossible to live that type of life. You got to be that. To be Christ-like, you got to become Jesus, baby. There's no other way around it. You have to adapt the way he talks, the way he walk, and all that shit. Of course, figuratively. I'm saying it. Because that's the type of information that changes you. The words got to be made flesh. The knowledge that you have to become wise. You have to become that and understanding. I mean, if you're saying you're not stupid, well, not being stupid is, well, I mean, there's levels to it too, right? So the more conscious you become Christ-like. So your whole objective is to wake your ass up, all the way the fuck up. Meaning you having a better consciousness of what's around you, you being the better version of how, nigga, all of it. And if that comes with fucking abundance, be it too. Well, that's already an abundant state of mind anyway. So it came with it. What the fuck do you want? That's why if it's not about you, it doesn't matter. it's not about you, it doesn't matter. If it's not about your essence, it doesn't matter. Now, from that perspective, from that foundation, everything else will work. Do you ever ask yourself, why is it important, even when we talk about relationship, to have God in it? Well, God here is playing a third party, meaning it's allowing you to draw the best out in you and whoever the fuck you're going you also with. Do you niggas understand that shit? And that's why you need it. You gotta have God in your life, nigga. And if it doesn't, you better create that shit. But it's important for you to understand what the fuck you're doing too, though. You know what I'm saying? And understanding those are tools. And that's what our ancestors left us. Because the truth is something you're going to wake up to. The tools are all already there. The books, everything you need. You just need to open your eyes. Or accept Jesus. Go inward. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it means, man. You know what I'm saying? Our ancestors are just waiting on you, dog. They already got you everything you need. I know, for me too. I mean, shit. Like all this time, I thought these motherfuckers was not with me. Shit, you crazy. Saying shout out to all my ancestors, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to tell them they can't touch this, man. You know what I'm saying? The only thing you could do is look at it. You feel me? Nothing else, man. Saying you try to touch it, man, you burning yourself. If you think I'm lying, look at your life. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Look at your life, man. Listen, man, I'm something God love. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? You're saying, I mean, shit, these niggas love me too much. Like, why me? They told me you fucking deserve it, nigga. I'm like, shit, well, shit, bring it on, niggas. You know what I'm saying? So shout out for that. Always. Always. That's why, I mean, even for me to say it, it's almost like, you know what I'm saying? Shit. I mean, I'm so mean with these, like, man, listen. Ooh-wee. I'm going to just leave that there. You know what I'm saying? So again, going back to now, you know what I'm saying, having the proper discernment, you know, about, you know, but that also requires of you to, I'm trying to get you to reflect on the effect of those different messages. One is teaching you how to behave. And of course, you're going to get your rewards. You know, Christian don't do this, you don't do that, you don't do this, you don't do that. All good. You know what I'm saying? And then you have another type of teaching now that is that's about you. And the reason why it transforms you because it's about you. And as you transform, meaning as you adapt those God qualities in you, that's what makes you, what do you think a good person is? A person who had the ability to understand, to forgive, to have compassion. Those are God qualities in you, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, does that make sense? Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, bunch of fucking barbaric niggas out there, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, slow down. now. You see what I'm saying? It's like, yeah. And see, those are the beauties that you find in you. And then now, you're able to manifest that shit on the outside. And it's being manifested by helping another brother, having compassion, man. You know what I'm saying? Having peace and joy in your own life, being fulfilled. There's no competition between you and your neighbor. Fuck Jones. you know what I'm saying? Keep up with the Joneses, your life would be fucked anyway. And here's the crazy shit. And that you hear it all the time, and it's true. As much as people are doing shit for other people, not you or other people really give a fuck about any of that anyway. This is a real scam, to be honest. We do all that shit. At the end of the day, you are responsible for your life. And I think for me, my boy Wyclef says it best, man. Play celebrity. You will be R.I.P. What else? Get your money, live your fucking life, man. Be a person. That's what the fuck that means. That's all the fuck that means, man. you know what I'm saying? Don't, you know what I mean? It's not like the way you think it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Especially living in the fucking States too, man. Just a small decision could fuck up your whole life. The wrong turn, man. you know, just the wrong turn. I'm telling you, man. You know what I mean? So, that's why it's also important for you to know, that's why you have to avoid poison, man. See, at the end of it all, you gotta see the results of whatever teaching that you're either. If you eating certain food, right, you gotta see what type of effect that it has on you. When you see like the way people are going to church, there's no true transformation. It's more like behavior based. That's pretty much what that is. And their validation comes in now, because they are part of this church. They're all good people. Because I go to church, that makes them give them a little. It's an extra way for them to feel good about who they are. That's what I see. I don't know what you see, but that's what I see. Whereas when you transform, you have the information that's for you. Oh, nigga. Can you tell the difference already? Your level of vibration, your connection to a true living God. It's different. It's different. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be careful, man. You gotta know what type of food you're eating out there. Who the fuck are you eating from? you know That's pretty much what it comes down to. When with the whole behavior shit, it's not gonna cut it. That's why even within that circle, you would have some people that applies the words a little bit more. Their behavior is gonna be different. Even with the way they would look at themselves would be a little bit different too. Because those may be the ones that, are there, really to be there. It's kind of tough, but It's kind of tough, but hey, man, we all started somewhere. You know what I'm saying? I remember I used to go there too, so let me not be hypocritical about the whole thing. But it's just when it's different, it's different. Like I'm not trying to act like nah. I mean, like Peter and shit. I'm not betraying the church. I'll put in my work too. Well, that's how I know so much about you motherfuckers. How do you think I know? Nobody told me. I'm seeing it for myself. And that's how I knew there's no true transformation in it. It became a thing that everybody's looking it's check spotting everybody. You know what I'm saying? In the name of behavior. And the fake relationship between the people is not genuine because you're not genuine. And that's what we see, unfortunately, spirituality is turning into now. It's the cool thing to talk about. Do you see what I'm saying? Like that's why you see spiritual niggas too who are claiming to talk about spirituality because that's the new thing now. It's the new it's the new thing. You know what I'm saying? It's becoming another type of social validating shit. Bullshit. You just got to ask yourself, do you want to sound smart or do you want to be smart? Those are two different things. See, that's why this type of knowledge is for the livings, meaning the ones who are experiencing it, the one who are applying it. Well, that's you. It has to be you. So if there's any type of teaching that is not about you, it's false teaching. Then it's not about God. Because God is in you. That transformation that you're going to go through as you are adapting those divine qualities in you, that's going to bring you closer to God. Meaning, that higher self of yours. Again, I mean, however you want to call it. That's how you become in him as he is in you. It becomes a fucking holy communion. It's not a pretending or a Sunday shit. This is a 24 hours. This is an every second shit. And as you are experiencing that, you could feel the cosmos, you could feel the universe, and the universe feels you. You know the difference, but yet you understand we are one and the same. But you know the difference at the same time. The beginning and the end. Now once you step into God, you became that. That's the idea of the cauldron. The cauldron, right? So the drinks that you hold, I mean the recipe becomes the same as what inside of them. You become, oh man, like what the fuck, like as in fact, you drink certain glasses are recommended with certain drinks. And that's when, the whole DNA activation also takes place too. Your whole transformation, when you see the hollow, the saint, and all that shit, those are your auras. You gotta become that transformation. Do you see what I'm saying? And that's why us, what I call true teachers, we teach you. I mean, regardless of whatever background or whatever shit that I mean that teacher whoever's teachers I mean whoever's teaching you about you. Well, I mean there are something for in it for you because it's about you. Simply put. But if it's a behavioral type of shit, oh, okay, all right, there you go. I mean, we have that. We have those results in front of us, guys. You know what I'm saying? And you also have the result too. Like when I mentioned the Dalai Lama, I mean, you could see a similarities in all of those, let's just say, gurus. It's the same thing as spiritual teachers. I mean, I think it meant something else, but ultimately, when we say when you see a guru, I mean, you already know. You know what I'm saying? And the idea of going to church too, man, is that's why you could create your church at your house. That's what you're trying to do when they tell you to have a fucking altar. Do you see what I'm saying? The idea of going to church is to evoke that God in you. You know what I'm saying? That's what you will see a lot of the Buddhist temples when these niggas go to meditate, well, they go to find God. So your church or your temple, that's what it should provide you. And that's why these guys understand God is inside of them. So when they go in their temple, where they all get together, I mean, of course, I'm pretty sure they teach and shit like that. I don't know exactly what the fuck they do, but from what I'm able to see from the outside, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there has to be time when they talk, but these motherfuckers are meditating together. Whatever the fuck everybody's doing. It's it's a way of worshiping. I mean, it is. I mean, when it comes to worship, worship is what you do every day. That's why I tell you guys, it's either you worship God or you worship idols. Worshiping is your understanding of what God is every day to you and how you act to it. I mean, in reference to it. That's what worship is. So if your understanding of your regular life, it's that type of shit. It's your life consists of and okay. If your life is all about just going to college, getting a 4 year degree, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, get to a certain management position, or let's put it this way: if it's all about rich dad poor dad for you to just have a lot of money versus not having a whole lot of money, and that's it. I mean, okay. I mean, you definitely fall. You fell short because now you're missing out on a whole other aspect of you that money cannot give you. And that's why if you have money, you don't have that. Like it's like it might be even worse. It's like, well, I shouldn't say worse, but I mean, damn. Because now you're really stuck. You know what I'm saying? In the fucking illusion. And just like because money is fucking energy. Like just like I always tell people, man, nobody makes money just by making money. In fact, even to learn about Rich Dad Poor Dad, he's showing you a different state of mentality. I mean, a different ways of looking at things, perspective. There's another white boy too, man. What is it? Think and Grow Rich, showing you again its mentality, but again, you'll see a lot of these guys. They're looking for, especially in Think and Grow Rich, right? It's you developing those. It's there's certain abundant. It's like, okay, why seeking abundance when you can become abundant? That's what I'm trying to tell you. And if you have abundance but you're not abundant, meaning you don't, you see, you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't make a difference. It doesn't make a difference. In fact, I'm thinking about, I think Chris Rock on that, I guess, last one he did when he was talking about Will Smith, right? So he was saying some shit about, hold up. All right. So he was saying some shit about his mentality versus his daughter's mentality. He was saying, my daughter, their mentality is rich, but me, poor. And I get what he was saying. What he was truly trying to tell you, yes, he does have those $1 million, but he's still that nigga because that's what he knows. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm saying that to say, I mean, of course, in his case, he got the money. I mean, he's also well balanced too. But I'm trying to say that to say it's like, even though he has a lot of money, though, I knew, I understood exactly what he was talking about. The money didn't change him. You know what I'm saying? He probably still that nigga that's like, how much money is this? Okay, that might be a little too much. But his daughter would probably be like, doesn't matter. What is that? You know what I'm saying? I know for me, shit, nigga. I mean, regardless of how many millions I got, I know I'm gonna be like, it's principles, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So having that type of mentality for me, having the money or not, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like there's certain, like don't don't get it twisted. Like I've done shit to put myself out of my conditioning. I'll give you a perfect example, right? This one time, there was this one time I burned a fucking $100, and I did it. I did it for me. Do you see what I'm saying? So I did it because I wanted. I was saying to myself, I don't want to. I mean, it's not probably the best way to do it, but I just had my personal reasons to do it, right? But yet, here's what I did for $100. Now let's. If you were to be like, yo, let's go to the club for me to buy a bottle for $400, I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? I light up $100. I burn it. I mean, I know it's not the same amount, but let's just say I wouldn't the same money that I spent for that $100 that I burnt. If I'll go to a fucking club and the bottle was that much, I don't know. Okay. Let me take it back. But almost something like that. But at that point, it would be reasonable too. Does that make any sense? I mean, that's the point that I was trying to make. Like, $400 for like, come on, motherfucker, that shit is $40 at the store. Do you know what I'm saying? But I get it. It's the party. It's just play celebrity. You be R.I.P. Shit, nigga, I'm Haitian to the core, nigga. You crazy. You know what I'm saying? Regardless how much money I got, I'll still be saving my money, nigga. Fuck out of here. You crazy. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whereas, you know what I'm saying, and all of that has to do with, the way I was brought up. I also understand taking care of myself, but I also know, like this is, what I'm saying, it's different than, what I'm saying, like than being a big spender. You know what I'm saying? Loving yourself and being a big spender are two different things. You know what I'm saying? And some people sometimes, I think they confuse being a big spender with loving themselves. But anyway, but that has also had to do too when you choose N word. You wouldn't have to worry about any of that shit. But I was saying all of that to say, like when you have a certain state of mind, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's literally wealth. I mean, wealth is health. Literally, man. You see what I'm saying? That kind of shit. So, you know what I'm saying? So if you're not in your best shape, man, like, does it matter? Does anything else matter? For that matter. You see what I'm saying? And that's why, like I always tell you guys, fame, money's always gonna be secondary. Always. And even the motherfucker that has money, they also know that too. I mean, are you gonna take it with you? I mean, you definitely had a nice run. I mean, and again, this is the miss. I'm not saying for you not to have money here, neither. Far from that. The same way, just like I wouldn't be telling you not to kill, not to steal. Like, this is a conversation I wouldn't be having with you. Not to suck dicks. You go this, no. Like, okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? But the type of information that would help you to transform, that's what I'll give you. I'm saying that to say, oh shit, I think I lost it. It'll come back to me. Yes, this is what I was talking about. I was saying that to say, just because I don't talk, let's just say I wouldn't tell you not to steal, not to kill. That doesn't mean I'm saying, what I'm saying, a teacher that's telling you that is automatically bad or there's something wrong with it. Do you see what I'm trying to say? I mean, I wouldn't talk about it. I mean, it's not the end goal. The end goal is you. And the minute you adopted that, and that's the same thing. I want you to understand the same baseline understanding. Even when people are telling you, yo, life is about fulfillment. We're not automatically saying fuck money. We're not automatically saying, oh, whoever has money is evil. We're not saying none of that shit. We just understand, like, the truth. And that doesn't mean, and knowing the truth means you could be a millionaire and you know it's not about money. And you could be poor and you know it's not about money neither. Do you see what I'm saying? If you're a fucking millionaire but you treat people whatever the fuck, you can see yourself as just another person. Yeah, you have more money, but nothing else. I mean, shit. There's a lot of rich motherfuckers who think that way. I mean, I hope. I hope. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you bless. Yes, but yet again, you also understand that your true blessing, it's not. It doesn't revolve around just that. You would say you blessed too, because now at this point, I know for me, I am in a state of gratitude. I live in that state of gratitude because I am so deeply in touch with me and my evolution and my presence. And here's something else too. Gratitude, like I always tell people, it's a state of living. It's something you have to cultivate when you know and you count your blessings. And if you're alive, like people always say, well, motherfucker, shit, you got some type of blessings. And when you accept this is what you got, that's what you got. And if you got a lot, that's what you got too, motherfucker. You accept both situations. And that's exactly what I do. This time I've been broke, nigga, I embrace that shit. Other times, well, I've been mostly broke, but do you see what I'm saying? Not anymore, though. Oh, man, I've been broke all my life, baby. Not anymore, baby. Uh-uh. You know, they're trying to stick me for my paper. Not over here, baby. You know what I'm saying? Shit, get the fuck out of here. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? You embrace both fucking. Hey, man, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll give you a perfect example, right? I am a salmon guy, right? I normally like to get my shit, you know what I'm saying? I normally pay like $3.50, you know what I'm saying? But I have it for the whole month. They cut the shit up for me, you know what I'm saying? That's when, you know what I'm saying, they can feel like, ah! But then, you know, there's been other times, you know what, baby, shut! We're gonna have to go for that can dog, you know what I'm saying? Man, listen, man, I done learned how to do all kinds of croquettes, motherfuckers. If you need some tips, holla at your boy. I enjoy both, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You can't tell me nothing. Fuck out of here. Do you see what I'm saying? When you know your worth, you know your worth, baby. And with that too, man, I mean, it makes everything run so smooth too. Oh, you have no idea. Shit, you know what I'm saying? And listen, my game's still the same. Ain't no shame in my game, baby. You know what I mean? Shit, I maneuver very well. You know what I'm saying? There's been time a nigga got to do some Uber Eats, whatever hey, that's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? But those days are over for you, boy. You hear me? I done paid my dues, baby. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Ain't no shame in my game. You hear me? But anyway, I'm wilding. We're in 28. Sometimes I just feel like talking shit too. But anyway, what are we saying here? So ultimately, guys, this is what it comes down to. I just wanted you to be aware or have the proper discernment on not just the different type of teachers that you will encounter, but how those teaching will have an impact on you. Obviously, the one teaching that doesn't tell you about you, you know, you get better through your meditations, through, you know, fasting, certain things that you do for yourself, you see, that involves you. Then you do your shadow work. You analyze about, okay, how did you get to feel this way? You analyze shit about you. You don't suppress none of that shit. So that makes you a better human being. Now you see, have self-love. Now you look for love in other people. That's how it works. That's actuality. You know, that's how it works. And for you to do that and to be successful at that, you cannot devalue yourself. No way. No way. Even Jesus would not allow it. Jesus told you to be perfect like God is perfect, nigga. He's telling you to aim higher. That's why it starts with you. People who are closed off, right? They don't believe in love. Well, they're not going to treat you better. Do you notice? It was funny. Just the other day, I was listening to this guy, right? He was saying how the purpose of relationship is marriage. Well, and then now I'm saying to myself, well, if that's the case, why does it require more work? Or why does it even require work after you get married? So that's not the end goal. It's like this motherfucker insured himself, but this is what you see in those type of teachers. They're not. They are delusional. That's why they don't. They're not a representation of what they're talking about. It doesn't make sense. If you have to do more work after you get married, then the purpose of a relationship is not to get married, bro. Because the work that it requires after or even if you're not married is the same. It's the same amount of work, which is you're gonna have to have integrity. I mean, intimacy. Because there's no way you're gonna have a good relationship without intimacy. And you guys are gonna have to be vulnerable to and vulnerability. Meaning it's not easy to talk about it, but I'm gonna do it. And the more you do that, the stronger you become. Now, what was not easy at one point, second time is still not gonna be easy, but you keep doing it. You are working on you, motherfucker. You all become vulnerable, and that's building your inner strength through truth and understanding. That's how you become a stand-up person. That's what part of the ways for you to become Christ-like. Then now you become the truth itself. And that's what Jesus was saying by saying, I am the truth. Do you get it? So again, your fake teachers, they're using Jesus, or even Buddha too. I mean, I don't know much about Buddhism or how I mean, I know what I need to know. But anyway, I mean, I haven't seen any fake ones just like as fake they are in Christianity though. You know what I'm saying? Because Christianity, you already know. The information is fake to begin with. You know what I'm saying? It's all about behaving like there's nothing in you to transform you anyway. Besides, if you have a testimony, you could say how God saved you, and then that's it. See, my testimony, it's living that life. You bet your ass I'm fucking Jehovah Witness, but I do it every second though. But anyway, again, you know, it's ironic as I was saying, the Jesus teaching that they're using and what Jesus was doing in his teachings are total opposite. Or total opposite, and that's funny to me because Jesus was the type of teacher that was teaching you about you, not just how to behave, but how to find God in you. That's what was. The whole thing was pretty much about. Even when they brought over that when they brought that prostitute over for them to stone it, he helps you to see the God in you. I mean, you worry about her. I mean, and then you got shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you worry about the wrong shit. But that's what, when you truly not fully realized, that's the type of shit you do. criticize, bad mouthing people. Do you see what I'm saying? Was there anybody Jesus was going after? You know what I'm saying? Tell me, did Jesus, your Jesus that you claimed, which is the good thing that you're following, why are you doing the opposite of that? Guys, a lot of people go to church, especially in fucking Haiti, and then they're doing voodoo and shit. That goes to show you it's the social validation. It's the stamp that it gives you. It's the reputation. It's people pleasing. It's another fake deceiving behavior. So it's almost like the minute you step in you step foot in that motherfucker, like that's what you sign up for. I want you to understand it though. So for me, I mean, that's why I know not to expect much. I mean, I wouldn't even judge it because I understand it. I mean, I wouldn't. You see what I'm saying? Like, to be honest, I'm just balancing the scale here. I'm not really criticizing them. I'm just telling you what they do. You see what I'm saying? I'm not bad mouthing. I mean, I'm just letting you know this is what you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? That's all you're gonna get. That's it. This is how much like it's. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, again, like it's out of love. I can't even criticize these motherfuckers. Again, compassion, understanding. Do you see what I'm saying? But let's just say the shoes was on the other side. You know what I'm saying? You know how your pastors be going in. You know what I'm saying? Doing all that shit. And all you acting this, you doing that. You know what I'm saying? I can't even you know what I'm saying? That's like a motherfucker telling me you speaking of God and then you smoking, you drinking all that shit. What the fuck is this? That's what that is. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey man. And just so you guys know and have the proper understanding too, each one of these teachers understand how, you know, what type of influence that has on you. One teaching is teaching you how to behave, how to pretend. There's no transformation. That you could, I mean, well, I mean, shit. Whereas, I'm gonna bite my tongue on that one. Mm. See, well, anyway. So now it's almost like, yeah, man. So you're just gonna have to be careful, you know, and saying to yourself, you know, again, not blindly. Now that I'm able to give you the sight and understand what what you would rather look for, because what we truly do, and this is what you know, and I am part of those type of teacher who's teaching you how to be you, because what we're really doing is holding the mirror of wisdom for you to see the transformation that the wisdom that we're giving you, or the information in itself, it's giving you the sight, it's giving you the type of understanding that you need, both for your mental and to open up your heart as well. And that's the type of message, with the love and the understanding, that that's what you get here, man. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what you're getting here. And that's what Jesus was doing. That's what Buddha was doing. And ironically, I don't know too much about Buddha in terms of, I haven't heard anything like that. But, you know what I'm saying? But as far as, Christianity, nigga, shit, I went to a Jesuit school. You know what I'm saying? I've been around. You know what I'm saying? She can't tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I understand, you know what I'm saying, the image or the validation that a lot of people get from it, and especially if you want to so-called say you raising your kids correctly. Come on, man, you already know. You already know. But again, and that type of behavior, I don't know. I mean, if you create a habit, you make it a habit, maybe. I mean, I just don't see it working. I haven't seen it. It hasn't. I mean, I've seen it work. I mean, I've seen the results. I mean, we all know it. We all know it. You know it. I know it. It's the weekly thing, and no transformation, no true empowerment. I mean, they sound good though. They good. They talk a hell of a good talk. Oh, they sure do. They sure do. But again, I recognize the tree by its fruit. The content in what they're saying, I already know. And not for me claiming that I know everything, but I understand. Again, look at Jesus. He was that. So you mean to tell me you telling me about Jesus and you not that? Isn't that's who he was? Isn't that, if that's who you following, then you gotta talk and speak like him. If you're a person of authority, well, you must speak in authority, nigga. Again, I for me, I know the difference. I see the results. You know what I'm saying? I see the results. And anybody who's teaching you about you, I always see the difference in them. Their fucking behavior, the way they act, a sense of integrity, self-respect, self-love. I see it. Look at anybody who's talking the same type of talk that I'm talking. We're about living. We're about that life. Shit. So much so, nigga. You're looking at Jesus. So you tell me who's about that life. You know. Again, and we could look at the results. Anybody who cultivate their being are better human beings. And anybody who doesn't value those certain values, you know what I'm saying? To be a good human being, you have to value values. Most importantly, you value values by showing those values in your life, by displaying that value. Remember, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. To the pure, all is pure. How are you looking at it? You see what I'm saying? See, the thing about you, it's like you're looking at it wrong. You see what I'm saying? When you say you can't manifest, a lot of people cannot manifest because you're looking at it wrong. You already manifesting. What do you mean you can't manifest? You are a manifester. You don't have a manifesting issue. You have a perspective issue. Do you see what I'm saying? If you understand your essence, then positivity is who you are. You cannot build if you don't see quality in you. In fact, that's what destroyers do. And it would destroy even values in itself. But you would have to have it. Do you see what I'm saying? So again, it's that's why you got to become the fucking information. And as you become the information what takes place in you, the God understanding, the compassion, the love. Jesus didn't tell you to say you have love for your brother. You got to have love for him. So that means you have to become that. Nigga didn't tell you go ahead and say, yeah, he did. There's certain things he did tell you to go say. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, you're going to have to back those things up. You know what I'm saying? So he was teaching you how to be. Not how to behave. And you see it for yourself. This nigga went to different parties too, didn't he? And this is the miracle of them all. His first miracle. I got it right here. Mm-hmm. So again, how are you looking at it? Come on, man. And that's why I love the word dancing too. Like when you understand it, then you understand you're dancing with life too. You know what I'm saying? But that part was for the great listeners. You feel me? And that's why this is a whole dance. You know, and you are like it's just insane. And when you become the dancer, that's how you escape karma. But you can't be fake. That's why when you fake, you can pretend as much as you like. I know for me, that's why I won't even listen because I already know. You know. How am I gonna listen to something I know? You know what I'm saying? The only thing for you to do now is you would have to fuck up my vision. But here's the thing. I don't see with these. That's why I can see you far away. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is where it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, oops. This is an oops for you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Too bad. Too bad, so sad. Or so sad, too bad. You know what I'm saying? You fucked. Oh, best and believe. stop it. And no way out. And niggas, there's no way out. No way out. You know what I'm saying? I know you don't see it yet. Don't worry. You're going in that direction. I mean, you have enough proof. But the hard-headed always got to see it to believe it. And you will see it, though. Guarantee. No way out. There's no way out, man. No way out. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, man. I mean and that's pretty much what it comes down to. And but also it is your decision to make as well. Your decision to make, and a lot of us not having the proper tools to make the proper decision. Well, I just gave it to you tonight. And that's why it's important for you to understand your nature, because understanding your nature would tell you about what would work for you. Do you see what I'm saying? Like a lot of you have the results in front of you, but you still may not have. Hey man, listen. And just so you guys know too, everything is just in front of you. You know what I'm saying? But it's the level of consciousness that you are in. And that's why, in so many ways, you are in your own way, and you have to remove yourself. That's why your meditation is important. Open up your third eye. I mean, that's a must, because now you're becoming more receptive to more light. What other people will call downloads. You know what I'm saying? Or even depending on what you want, talk to certain people. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Johnny didn't know. Poor Johnny. That's no way out, Johnny. Johnny, no way out. You were told not to, Johnny. Hey, Johnny did not study his lesson. Johnny said, "Fuck the whole world." He ain't gonna study his lesson. And Johnny had to text the next day. Oh man. Johnny. Your report card is not looking good, baby. Your results are in. And that's the beauty too, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's report cards are in. Their results are in. All those years, whatever the fuck, man, you gotta have to put up with you. You are your own report card, guys. You have to understand that. That's why you have to become the words. You don't want to sound smart. I mean, it's not even smart. It's not even smart to sound smart, bro. Without being smart, how smart is that? And when you are smart, and this is what I was saying about the whole ethics shit, that's why you will see the true teachers, the true ones, who about the Christ life. You know what I'm saying? Do you ever notice, like, and Eddie Murphy understood that shit? It's always the niggas, like, do you notice that? Like, it's always the niggas like me. We say, I mean, outstanding shit that people would be like, man, I don't think you're a good guy. I mean, fuck you. I suck my own dick. Yes, Diddy. And then now you have the ones, oh my God, oh no, I can't believe that's what you're saying. Even to speak in those, using those words and God in the same sentence. No. I can't believe you, sir. No. Uh-uh. That's a no-no. Well, it would be these motherfuckers who be dick sucking, do all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? Who would ever thought Bill Cosby, nigga? Here's another one. You see, the people who do the work, you don't criticize other people for what they do. You understand. Like for me, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I could talk my shit, tell you niggas pick it up. But in reality, nigga, I love you. Trust me. Well, you don't even have to. I already understand. So much so, I don't need your validation, good or bad. Because, and here's something else too, a good teacher too. I'm not here for followers. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not here to let you know how smart I am. I'm here to tell you the truth to help you. Now, is that shit gonna sound smart? Huh, come on now, stop playing. Come on, man, what are you doing? I could do that in my sleep. But that's not the concern. Just like when you put Christ in your life, you truly living like Christ. Criticizing or even to say that you behave better than somebody else. Can you imagine like me, my life is better than you, this and that? Listen, it's not even important, bro. You know, as long as you're making yourself better, that's all that matters. So that's why for me, even with these fake teachers, I don't even have an issue with it. Although it's almost like when you have Jada Pinkett, brother, that has a red table. Come on, man. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not even judging or even going at nobody here. Like, come on, man. Like, come on, dog. Like, how you gonna fix spirituality, bro? You know what I'm saying? It's not even going to church. You know what I'm saying? I get it. If you go to church, you know, you're seeking for that validity. I mean, validation. You know what I'm saying? And all that shit. But spirituality, it's almost like you already outside of that. How do you fake this? Mind blowing. But anyway, but that's what niggas do anyway. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I notice is becoming the cool thing to talk about. Not truly because of the wisdom, not truly because of our essence. It's two different routes, man. It's two it's you know what I'm saying? It's because none of that. So how meaningful that is to you, and how smart is that even for you? It's like, how do you, yo, how do you fake being even good when you got the opportunity to be good? I mean, am I saying this wrong? Like, what the fuck? Like, that's not like, damn. Like, how can you be so stupid? Fuck it. How can you be so stupid? Even it's almost like, you know what I'm saying? You have the food, you're cooking for everybody, but there's nothing for you. I mean, best believe I'm cooking, nigga. Shit, I'm already full while I'm cooking. Or trust me, or there's storage in my basement, nigga. Doesn't make sense. You sharing this beautiful thing and not partaking in it? I really don't see what's smart about it. Like, how are you moving? Anyway, to each his own. Hey, some shit will beyond me, dog. You know what I mean? But anyway, um, we got 2 hours. God damn it. we're just gonna leave it here, guys. Hey man, understand those two different type of teachers. One of them is there for you, literally for you, because one of them has done the work, and that's why their teaching is about you. They understand the true transformation has to take place in you, not to be talked about. I mean, you could talk about it too. That's fine. You do whatever the fuck. But ultimately, if it's not you talking about it, means nothing. And this is how, again, and I wanted to make that point as I was talking about. It's not about money. It's not criticizing. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not necessarily criticizing, like not saying. It's almost, and this is. Ooh, mm, mm, that was for me. That part was mine, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I gave you a lot of other food. That was for me. Shit. Fuck out of here. That was for me. Mm, okay. But anyway, let's shut it down, guys. Again, it was a great pleasure being with you, and that's what I do here, man. That's what you're gonna get. That's what you're getting all day, every day. So always remember, if you go within, you can never go without. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? And but most importantly, the remedy of the pain is in the pain. Be true to you. You can never be false to somebody else. And if you false to you, and if you're not true to you, you false to everybody. I said, bravo, my